kind of feel bad for taking it off. Can I?
Yeah,
I can kill it.
kill it.
Okay.
Rewrite it. It's been on there for 8 days.
Oh, it has. Okay.
8
All right.
days exactly.
I should have memorized it.
All right.
That's what I was doing last week.
All right. So we've probably gone over this before, this particular part, but has anybody ever like had their business kind of look like this?
Yes.
Right? So, the way it typically works for a standard agent, I'll just say standard, is they lead generate, right? They start lead generating right here, and then they start getting business right about here, and then they start closing business, right? Well, while they're closing business, what happens?
They don't lead generate.
They stop lead generating, so what happens to their business?
It dies.
Goes down. And then they decide right here, what do they decide? I got to lead generate. Okay, so here's another variation of this, and I'm going to do it over a career. Okay, so this is lead gen, and then this is income, money, okay, or business or units or whatever you want to call it. And what happens is when you first get into real estate, you start here, and you should, theoretically speaking, start your lead generation up here, like you should be up high. And then how it typically looks for people who have an extended career and actually make a career out of it is it looks like this. Their money goes up, right? And then lead gen, what it typically does is it goes like this. And then if they're good and they stay good and their money stays up, their lead gen plateaus. And this is that flow state that we talk about. So, when I talk about the yearn, endure, or yearn, earn, and enduring phase on the clarity curve. So on the clarity curve, this is the people that get here. This is where it just seems like business is happening and they're not even trying, right? Like we don't see Kara in the office working on the phone 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. Do you guys see her on the phone? No, she's probably driving to appointments and making calls would be my guess. Am I right? So we don't visually see it. Here's the challenge. Think of this from a new agent perspective, or if your business isn't where you want it. Imagine if you started your lead gen here and you treated your lead gen here instead of, it's actually probably a little bit more aggressive than that. You should start it here, but a lot of agents, they see Kara or they see Rebecca or they see T, they see Francesca, they see agents that are producing and they try to emulate what it visually looks like. And they show up like this, expecting this. Is that a recipe that's going to work? It's not, right? Why? Why will that not work?
You're in a different phase of your business. Well, they didn't see them doing.
There you go. So what happens is there's this whole portion of their business from here to here that is building up pressure, that's compounding, that's stacking up on itself over and over and over again, that gives them the opportunity to live this life, where their lead generation doesn't necessarily visually line up with where you think their income is, right? But it is. They're still doing the thing. It's just compounded. Their conversations are easier. Their conversion is better. They get better at getting to the point a lot faster on their conversations. They know if they're working with a viable lead or a crappy lead or client or customer or whatever a lot quicker. They get better at it, right? So I'm going to illustrate the 3 different ways you can operate in business. And I'm going to do it so you guys, especially the newer agents, can understand how we've built our business, how City of Trees has constructed our business to operate. So this is the 3 ways that you can operate inside of a real estate business. The first way is dependent. I'm going to explain what that is. The second way is independent. This is probably the most famous type of operating inside of the real estate business, where you're an independent agent. We all know independent agents, not associated with teams. They're just doing their own thing. And then interdependent. Interdependent is another style of being in the business. Okay, so dependent. First of all, before I jump in this, we have a dependent model inside of City of Trees for our agents and our associates. So I want you, if you're an agent or associate, I want you to think through the lens of this model, because this is where you're at. And then all of our partners, senior partners, executive sales partners, you guys are in the interdependent model, and I'll explain that. Okay. So dependent takes value. So the agent is taking value. As a new agent, how are you taking value?
The coaching, the meetings, just showing up and receiving all the things that you guys are offering.
Coaching, mentorship, guidance, questions, resources, systems, tools, technology, leads, you name it, right? So you're, as a new agent, taking value. There's no shame in that, by the way. Like, that's what we're here for. That's the point, right? Then you share your income. So as a newer agent, especially when you're just getting started, I understand. Like, you get your first deal and you're like, I wanted the whole commission, because you see the whole commission. I get it. I understand. But what I want new agents to do is step back and say, I'm paying retroactively for all the time that's been invested in me. And that's really what's happening, right? And then here's the biggest one, guys. I can't tell you actually what to do. You're an independent contractor. But I can tell you what you should do to be a top producer. And that's going to feel like your time is controlled. We're saying you should be here at this time. You should be making calls for this amount of time. You should be showing up for this particular coaching session. You should be showing up for this training session. Like, who wants to stay here, by the way? Our goal is to make sure that no one stays there, right? And there's two types of people. Someone's phone's ringing. Is that mine or? Sorry.
Got like dog ears or something.
Our goal is
you
to.
kind of glossed over something with
ahead.
the shares income thing.
Yeah, you're good.
You said like you're like, hey, you do a deal and you were hoping to get a bigger commission, and then you're like, you know, the back pay. But I think it's important to like recognize how that happens. You know, sometimes it's like someone's here for 60 days and they get their first deal. Sometimes someone's here for over a year and they get their first deal.
Yes.
So recognizing that while you were here for a year, and you know, obviously utilizing a lot of the systems and tools and models and leads and et cetera, like that actually costs money to operate a business. Like we're writing a check every month to make sure that the business can run and the things are in place. So while you're looking at that snapshot in time of like, oh man, if I was on my own, I would have gotten paid X, right? But I think it's just important to recognize like, well, yeah, but you were also in this organization, in the system for an entire year, and you got Y, and there was no X coming in, right? So
yeah, which is a great tee up for being in this particular model for too long. Like, our goal is to get people to step out of this, right? And the way that happens is two ways. You start managing your own business in a way that supports the income that you need for your life, right? You start having a database that's producing. So you're going out and is it a contact sport? Yes or yes? Yes. You're going out and you're talking to people, you're meeting people, you're putting them into the system, you're letting the system work on your behalf, and then you're communicating with these people with gold bars. You're adding value regularly. If you do that, will your business grow, Kara?
Yes.
Your business will grow. It's not complicated, but you have to do it. The goal is to get every agent out of this into, right? So now I'm just going to give a quick comparison on being independent. So if you're out on your own, which is, you know, some people it works really well for, and some people it doesn't. But here's what it actually looks like. If you're independent, you're holding value. This means that you rely on yourself to find and execute on your own opportunities. You have your own resources, your own, you're paying for your own coaching or guidance or whatever, right? Everything is on you to think about and do. So you're holding value. You limit your income. Now that sounds contrary to what some people will tell you, but it's all based on $1 per hour. And what I mean by that is an independent agent what's happening is they're out there relying on themselves to find and execute on opportunities. Oftentimes, they're doing the $30 to $40 an hour work themselves. If someone's doing $30 or $40 hour work and selling a house is actually anywhere from, call it $150 to $500 an hour, are they making more or less per hour than someone who's only doing the things that makes $150 to $500 an hour? Were you going to say something?
I was just going to say, like, you might hear that instead of limits income, you might hear, I get the whole commission. Right.
Yeah.
But you're saying limits income for a number of reasons, dollar per hour. So for example, you start independent, you're like, okay, well, I've got all these people. Where do I put them? Oh, I got to go find a CRM.
Yes.
Well, I got to research which CRM to use. And then I'm like, okay, well, now that they're in the CRM, what do I tell it to do? And then I got to make my CRM do the things I want. And then, how do I want to get business? Oh, I really like working with my sphere. So I need to provide my sphere value. So how am I going to touch them? And on and on and on and on, So
Yeah.
You're trading time and money. But I don't, that clicked for me when Craig Zuber taught me that, 15 years ago.
So what did Craig tell you?
We're always trading time for money.
And what
Yeah.
scenario were you in?
Yeah. I was wanting to hire an admin, and he's like, well, Chase, so this is 2012. There wasn't really a lot of TCs around. Like right now, if I said, who would you hire for a TC? You guys could think of probably like 4 or 5 that you've heard of. That was not a thing back then. There was like TCs were either in-house or you didn't have one. And I needed help. So he's like, well, can you do your own TC work? And I'm like, yeah, of course I can. And at the time it was like $20 an hour. And he's like, well, how much do you save by doing it? And I said, $20 an hour. And he said, that's the problem. So you are worried about saving $20 an hour. I am focused on losing $480 an hour. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, well, every time I'm doing that $20 an hour job, I'm not doing my $500 an hour job. So it just, as you encompass what you can do, the things you do inside a business, I think it's important to understand that. So yes, you do get the whole commission. You also get the whole work, which means what you spend your time doing is going to dilute your dollar per hour. That's what I was trying to help you hammer home.
And then let's just say someone finds success independently. We all know independent successful agents. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Let's call this successful agent Bob. And he is actually the #1 independent agent in the nation. If I call Bob up and I say, Bob, how's business? What's Bob going to say?
Great.
And then I say, Bob, how's life? What's he going to say?
What life?
He's going to say, what life? Because Bob is on his computer on vacation. If he gets to take a vacation, he's doing all the things, right? So this is a possibility. But my job and Chase's job is to get other people to think differently about what it can look like and how your life and your business can both grow at the same time.
Yeah, and I think this model, by the way, independent model, I think this is really good for people who can't let go of anything. Like if you are obsessed with controlling every aspect of every detail of your business, like you probably need to be independent.
Yeah.
Is that a fair statement?
Yeah. We coach people like that.
Yeah. Most of the people I coach.
Yeah. I was actually going to say about, the aspect of like setting up your own business when we were talking about limits income. I actually coach people right now and I don't know if you guys realize this, but like I'm a year in and they're still building their systems. They're still building to launch it. What's the events going to look like? What's the touch going to look like? What should the email say? Like all of that. Like to do it in a way that actually delivers value is not an easy task.
Well, and just clearly we're biased. We run a team. So let me back off the bias for a little bit. Like it's perfectly fine, right? But those are hours you're spending not making money. So you just need to recognize that. We're always trading time for money. So what do you want to do with your time? Do you want to be building systems and tools and research and all that? You can.
Yeah.
You're just, and yes, you get the whole commission or, the whole commission, but you also get all the expenses and you have to put all the time in. So
Yeah.
there's no wrong answer. I think all three of these models work really well.
I agree.
So
I agree. Okay, the interdependent model. So by the way, when I first understood this model, the dependent, independent, interdependent model, the second I understood it, that is what changed how we operated City of Trees Real Estate. We built everything to support the interdependent agent. So what does interdependent mean? To me, interdependent means because I'm in your life is better. And because you're in my life is better. That's an interdependent relationship. That's win-win, right? That's, Kara, you're good at these things and I'm good at these things. And we're going to support each other to grow and have a life by design. Would you say that you have a life by design?
Yes.
Okay. I agree. You take more vacations than anybody I know.
Thank you.
But this is shares value, right? Shares value is, hey, let us build the CRM. Let us worry about what the CRM is going to say. Let us worry about providing additional leads for your business. Let us worry about what the marketing is going to do on your listings. Let us worry about all of that. And let's you just worry about the relationship and the connection and continuing to harness those, because that's really where the money comes from, right? Is those relationships. And then if you do work it right, theoretically, you grow your income. Your dollar per hour should increase because you're spending more of your time in the high income earning role versus mixing the lower income and higher income learning or earning roles. And last but not least, you can find success here and have a work-life balance. In fact, this is what we lean into the most. Like, how do we help you find a high amount of success? And then how do we help you have the best life possible at the same time?
Well, this is probably a good time to mention, since we've been bragging about Kara, and obviously there's a lot of rock stars on our team. But you were the top dog this week, so we're going to double down on it. Kara happened to run her own team. So Kara happened to be independent. And then, this morphs into this, right? You start here, and then at some point you're like, well, I can't do it all. Like, wow, I can't put the best systems in place, so I need to hire someone. Right? And now that I'm hired someone, I need to make more money, but I don't have time to do this. Like, I don't have time to do the lead gen stuff. So now I need to hire another person, and they're going to be either here or here. Right? That's the evolution of like her business. She's doing business. It's going well. She needs to hire people. And then ultimately you're like, I don't want to deal with any of that crap. I just want to plug in and sell houses. Like, can you tell us about that experience a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, the year I had my own team and I had a transaction coordinator, an executive assistant, 2 buyer's agents. I mean, I don't even remember exactly how many deals I did that year. I just remember
68.
probably, yeah. I had about 20 something pending at one time, and I thought I was going to, freak out. And I just don't like the systems and that's not my jam. And like being with City of Trees is totally, all of that is taken care of, and I get to just love on my people and love on you guys. And that is my love language. So, and have a lot of fun. That's my other love language.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about.
And I make more money now than I ever have. So even when I did it on my own.
And now you don't have to hold agents accountable. Well, you do kind of a little bit, but you don't. It's not part of your job, right? Like your business of like, hey, I gave you a lead, close it. Because that's the other thing that ends up happening too, is when you think if you're joining a team, you're like, why would I give Brent half my money? And so I'll use Kara. Why would I give Kara half my money? Kara is thinking, why am I going to give Brent half my money, right? From bringing a buyer's agent onto her team, because you realize she was getting all the money and now she has to share. So it's the evolution. Like, you're constantly rolling through these different, and ultimately you settle into one. And I 100% agree with you, Brent. Interdependent is the one where you can get the highest and best use.
Yeah.
Part of that too is, as a team owner or even someone, if you just had an assistant, that money that goes out every month, no matter what, whether you sell one house, 0 houses, or 10 houses. And I mean, obviously that can be super crazy stressful. So it's great being on the team because, most of your shit don't go out unless you sell some. So it's on these guys.
Yeah, I think we lost 43 grand in January.
47.
Oh yeah, sorry, 47. He remembers. It happens, though. It happens, and that's kind of like the ebb and flow.
Yeah.
So why are we talking about all
Well,
this? Well,
so it's funny because while this sounds like we're trying to re-pitch City of Trees value, that isn't the goal. The goal is to help newer agents realize that while it can feel like restrictive and high accountability and pressure, it's because we care about you enough to help you reach your potential. And we care about you enough to get you here, because this is, in my opinion, living. You have, like, when you're here, you have income, you have a life, you have support, you have a clear vision on what it is you need to do on a daily basis. And if you get to, the honor of getting your business to that point, you get to grow your income and eventually have a sustainable contact business where you don't have to do this really big number. Like, we are pushing newer agents because, frankly, you need practice. You need the reps. We need to see the data to figure out what you should be saying versus what you're not, what you are saying. And, I was in a coaching conversation, and, the numbers that we were talking about were high. Like, I'm having to talk to this many people face to face, like, and they're sphere people, like, they're going and saying, hey, who do you know that needs to buy a house? Right? That's the end of the conversation. So they talk to them, lighthearted, whatever. And then, who do you know that needs to buy a house? Because they want to try to find buyers. Well, we discovered that they're asking that question to people they're close to 30 people before they get someone to say, oh, maybe this person, right? For a new agent, if you talk to a lot of people, it allows us to dissect it and say, what are you maybe saying wrong? So this person, what they were saying wrong was, who do you know that needs to buy a house? And so I just reworked it with her and said, what if we did this, this, and this? And by making this small change, that 1 out of 30 will turn into 10 out of 30 or 15 out of 30, just by changing the way we said it. But if you're a newer agent and you're not actually hitting the numbers, it's almost impossible to know, like, where the hiccup is, where the hang up is. And so the reason why we wanted to go over this is to show you that we have intention behind what we're doing, and our goal is to help you get here.
I think there's one more thought going through my head. Think about this like with kids. Kids are dependent, right? And then ultimately they're going to be interdependent, right? That's the goal of parenting. Think about how good you had it when you were a kid, right? Like, you're like, think about the most stressful thing ever was like going to a dance or something like that. Can you imagine if that was the most stressful thing in your life today? Holy cow, those are good days. So, newer agents, like, you have it really good right now. And what I mean by that is, like, you have one job. It's finding a job. That's it. Take advantage of the opportunity you have. You have nothing else to do. Kara does not have the opportunity to make as many calls as you do. Yet somehow she is beating you. How? Like, I would look in the mirror and be like, never again is she going to beat me unless I'm beating her in sales. And that is like show up at Fearless tomorrow. You guys absolutely are capable of significantly more. And
what struck me about her or what she said too, she's like, I have a goal of 100. I probably should be doing more.
Yeah.
Right? So she's already holding the mirror up for herself.
Well, it's probably why she's selling a lot of homes.
Yeah. So
respect.
So as a newer agent, I hope you heard this and you're thinking about your business in a different way now, and maybe there's a little bit of a spark to do the work. Get some points on the board too for your team. Like if all you're doing is making the contacts, do that, because you could make a ton of points just from making contacts. So, all right. What are you guys hearing? Step off my soapbox.
I need to make a hell of a lot more contacts.
Whoa, hold on.
Hey, sounds good.
Yeah. What does that look like? What do you think? What do you think it looks like?
Well, probably at least 10 a day.
Okay.
Actual contacts and conversations about real estate.
Got it. Is that an increase from what you're doing right now?
Yes.
Okay. Do you
Starts
think you can,
today.
Do you think you can do it?
Yes.
I know you can do it.
I have like 20 leads from that open house. So,
Oh, I love it.
well, I know.
You know what's funny about that, and this is not going to be you, right? But all too often we talk to agents that will go run an open house and do all the work, like 4 or 5 hours. Open house takes about 4 or 5 hours, set up, planning, all that stuff, doing the thing. And then they don't follow up with the leads they get, right? So be the person that follows up.
Yep.
For
Absolutely.
sure.
Yeah, they make assumptions like, oh, they weren't really serious.
Yeah, they
or
ghosted
whatever.
me.
Yeah.
I tried them one time.
Yeah. Or it's been too long. I can't call them now. Like
Yeah.
all the ego things we tell ourselves to protect ourselves. All right. Who else? Let's hear from at least one more.
Newer agents, what are you hearing? John, what are you hearing?
All right.
He knew I was going to call him. He could see it.
I was thinking already. I'm hearing that. I mean, as a newer agent, Chase is right. I mean, really, we really only have one main focus that we have to focus on. I mean, I have the luxury of not having to worry about basically anything else, bills or anything like that. So, I have a lot more freedom and opportunity to make calls compared to a lot of other agents who have, kids that they have to take care of, or more of a life and more obligations.
Love it. Teresa, you were just talking about some of your listings. Like you have some crazy listings right now. So the problem that you're dealing with right now is you need to lead generate, but then what are you also dealing with on top of it?
Well, I have 8 signed listings that are ready to come on the market in the next 2 to 3 months.
Oh.
And so
What's
not
happening on
getting,
your current listings too, though?
Well, oh gosh. I mean, I'm getting flooded, bum rush calls up the wazoo with agents, multiple offers, escalations, and all this other stuff. That's beautiful stress. You
That's
could be
the point.
stressed about.
That's the first thing she said to me this morning. She's like,
I'm
"It's
drowning
beautiful."
in success.
Yeah, drowning in success. That's right.
And making sure that right now business never takes the place of future business
Love that.
is the battle.
So never let right now business take the place
Of
your
finding,
future
finding future
business.
business. And I think, John, just to clarify, like, regardless of what you got going on in personal life, as a newer agent, you don't have all the stresses of handling all the clients you have, right? So, like, and that as you get more and more business, now you're going to have to be dealing with that stuff. So it's imperative you get effective and efficient today when it comes to finding business.
Yeah, I think this reminds me of the story busting questions.
Yeah.
Right? Who out there is executing or doing it and what I think can't be done? Right? And all that does is reaffirm that, like, anybody that comes and tells me, "Oh, I was too busy to do that," especially if they're not producing, "I had too many things going on," or "I wasn't able to make this because I had this plan," or whatever. It's like, well, I know people out there that are raising kids, that have a massive business and are lead generating, and they still find time to show up for the thing and to come to training. Some of them are the most they attend daily growth more than anybody else, and yet they're still doing all of those other things. So that just reaffirms that most of the time, it's just the story we're telling ourselves. It's not actually, doesn't have to be our reality. So, all right. Anybody else? All right. Gratitude. Who or what are you grateful for? Who's on Zoom that we can call out? Maria. Who or what are you grateful for?
Hey, So I am grateful that my daughter is pregnant and I'm going to be a grandmother.
Woo!
Yeah, she's expanding her family, and I can't wait. It's my first grandchild. It's great.
Congratulations.
That's awesome. Do you have your grandma name yet?
No, we're getting past being 42 of being a grandparent. We'll go into that, okay?
They'll choose it for you. Don't worry.
That's awesome. All right. Let's see. Let's go with Francesca. And then let's go with Hunter because he's back there just looking all kinds of like riled up and ready to go.
So much energy.
Grateful for a lovely Easter weekend spent with my family, and I had my girlfriend, best friend that I, grew up with, come and visit this weekend. She's the one that recently endured a baby loss. She lost her 2-month-old. So it was a very important visit, and it just makes me count my blessings for my children, not much more. So, and I, had fun with my Easter egg hunt with my kids. We fell asleep and woke up at 2 a.m. and I'm like, oh my God, we gotta put the eggs all around. And Tom was so pissed. He was like, can you just wake me up next time for something more exciting? I'm like, we're doing the egg hunt.
PG.
You got to be careful. We still got Josie and Hunter in here. The Easter Bunny did it.
I thought I was out of this already.
I'm kidding.
No. I'm super grateful for my friends and family. Got to have an Easter get together with all the family and saw the new baby and everything. It was super fun.
Sweet. Awesome. All right, guys. That's it.
Hey, don't forget to grab some food, courtesy